Under the sea was a bustling kingdom of merpeople, presided over by the just and noble King Triton. King Triton forbade the merpeople to go above the water, but whenever his youngest daughter Ariel could, she and her best friend Flounder would sneak up to the surface. Ariel was fascinated by the surface world and had a collection of human treasures. She and Flounder had even made friends with a seagull named Scuttle. One day, Ariel saw a ship overhead and swam to the surface. On board was a handsome young man. The other humans called him Prince Eric. All of a sudden, a storm broke. The sky turned dark. Thunder boomed and lightning crashed. Howling wind tore at the ship's sails. Giant waves tossed the vessel onto the jagged rocks. Prince Eric was thrown into the ocean. Ariel frantically searched for the prince. When she spotted him, she quickly swam over and pulled him to safety. Once they were on shore, the storm finally passed. Ariel sang quietly to the unconscious prince. At last, he began to awaken. "Someday, I'll be part of your world," she said, slipping back into the sea. Minutes later, the prince's servant, Sir Grimsby, discovered him. "A girl rescued me," the prince said groggily, and she had the most beautiful voice. Meanwhile, in a dark corner of the sea lay the lair of Ursula the Sea Witch. Ursula had been bent on destroying King Triton ever since he had thrown her out of his kingdom. Ursula stared at the image of Ariel and Flounder reflected in her crystal ball. "This pretty little daughter of his may be the key to Triton's undoing," she said with a cackle. When Ariel returned home, King Triton was waiting for her. He was angry that Ariel had gone to the surface. "Never go there again," he ordered. "Humans are all the same, savage fish-eaters, incapable of any feeling." With a few strokes of his trident, he destroyed all of the human treasures Ariel had collected from the surface. Then he swam off. Upset, Ariel sought Ursula's help. In exchange for the mermaid's voice, Ursula would transform Ariel's tail into legs. "But," Ursula added, "the prince must fall in love with you by sunset on the third day. That is, he's got to kiss you. A kiss of true love. If not, Ariel would change back into a mermaid and become Ursula's slave forever." The ocean churned as Ariel's voice was captured in a magical seashell locket, and her tail turned into legs. A short time later, Prince Eric and his dog Max found Ariel on the beach. "You seem very familiar to me," said Eric. "Have we met?" Ariel could only nod. Although she looked like the girl who had rescued him, Eric didn't think it could be her. She couldn't speak, much less sing. "Don't worry, I'll help you," Prince Eric said, smiling. He figured Ariel had been in a shipwreck and needed somewhere to rest, so he brought Ariel back to his castle. Meanwhile, Ursula hatched a plan to keep Eric from falling in love with Ariel. She turned herself into a pretty girl named Vanessa, and she wore the shell containing Ariel's voice. That evening, the prince heard someone singing. It was the voice of the girl who had saved him. Eric went out to the balcony and saw Vanessa. He fell under her wicked spell. When Ariel awoke the next morning, she saw Eric with Vanessa. "The wedding ship departs at sunset," the prince told Grimsby. Now Ariel had lost her chance at true love and was doomed to be Ursula's slave forever. Aboard the wedding ship, Scuttle saw Vanessa's reflection in the mirror. She was really Ursula. He quickly flew away to find Ariel and Sebastian the crab. "The prince is marrying the sea witch in disguise!" Scuttle exclaimed. "Find a way to stall that wedding!" cried Sebastian. Then they all took off to rescue Eric. Flounder helped Ariel across the water, but the sun was starting to set. There wasn't much time left. Scuttle and the other seagulls did their best to interrupt the wedding by flying at Vanessa. In all the commotion, the magic locket fell to the ground and shattered just as Ariel reached the ship. "Eric?" she said. "You can talk," said the prince. "You're the one, it was you all the time." Happy at last, the prince leaned over to kiss Ariel. But seconds before their lips met, the sun set. "You're too late," shouted Ursula, turning into her beastly self. Ariel looked down and saw that her legs had changed back into a tail. "It's not you I'm after," Ursula told Ariel, whisking her into the sea. "I've got much bigger fish to fry." At those words, King Triton appeared. Ursula told him about the deal she had made with Ariel. In return for his daughter's freedom, the king agreed to take Ariel's place as Ursula's slave. "At last, this is mine!" Ursula cried, placing Triton's crown on her head. Using her new powers, Ursula grew monstrously huge. "Now I am the ruler of all the ocean!" But suddenly Prince Eric appeared, steering his ship through the raging waves right toward Ursula. The bow of the ship pierced her cold heart. Slowly, the horrible sea witch sank beneath the waves forever. King Triton's power was restored. Now he realized how much Eric and Ariel loved each other. With his trident, he changed Ariel's tail back into legs. Soon after, everyone gathered for the happy couple's wedding. Then Eric and Ariel sailed away to live happily ever after.